Batman, a name synonymous with pop culture. A character so malleable that he's been a vigilante, a pirate, a ninja, and a T-Rex. What? With a character like that, it's no wonder the tone of his stories changes drastically throughout the years. In the 1960s, he was portrayed as a goofy and campy hero by the late Adam West. This campy tone would continue for almost 20 years. But something started to change in the mid-80s. Comic books such as The Dark Knight Returns, Year One, The Killing Joke all came out one year after another. These were stories that took the character of Batman and added the darker tone that was missing for a couple of years. Until eventually, it made its way onto the big screen. Batman was released in 1989, directed by Tim Burton. It was almost a complete 180 from Adam West's iteration of the character, set in a darker and grittier Gotham. It starred Michael Keaton as the titular character and Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
It might seem crazy now, but at the time, Michael Keaton was a controversial pick for Batman, as he was mostly known for comedies and was here to bring back the 60s style. Thankfully, the audience's fears were put to rest the moment Batman showed up on screen. See, casting A-list actors was Warner Bros.' first step into making the superhero films a large event. But before I talk about the characters played by physical actors, I want to talk about the hidden character in the film, Gotham City. Because, see, before Tim Burton's Batman, Gotham was kind of just there. Set designer Anton Furst was responsible for the way Gotham looked. It was dirty, grimy, a gothic city full of skyscrapers and smoke everywhere. And the cherry on top was Danny Elfman's score. Just listen to this. It truly added to the atmosphere and the nightmare that Batman was fighting against. Speaking of Batman fighting people, this film did away with the boom and pows of the 1960s, instead going with raw hand-to-hand combat and even vehicular combat. Bruce Wayne in this film is a socially awkward billionaire who fights crime at night and has a fling going on with journalist Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger. While being darker, it is not afraid to show its comic booky side, something that superhero films in the 2000s, quite frankly, should have learned. Instead, it embraces it, even having Bruce leap upside down like a bat. Although silly, it sort of fits the tone of the world. Another character here made darker, but still comic booky, is the Joker. Throughout the film, he's seen dancing and having fun while murdering countless of innocent people. Burton manages to have the Joker do all of these horrible things, yet keep it lighthearted, which, to be honest, it's a common recurrence in his body of work.
With the darker tone, Tim Burton decided to showcase the darkest event in Batman's history up to this point. An event that would be replicated in other Batman media again, and again. The murder of the Waynes.
Now, keep in mind, this was the first time this had ever been put onto screen. It encapsulates Gotham City with its lighting, its set, and the smoke. It just feels dirty. However, something is done differently here than any other iteration of Batman by making the Wayne's killer the Joker himself. This now adds layers to the story that weren't there previously and commentates on the cycle of violence. See, by killing the Waynes, Jack creates the Batman, which later comes to bite him as the Batman creates the Joker. Their back and forth doesn't end until one of them is dead, just making the city worse until it gets better.
It showed that stories with these larger-than-life characters can still be taken seriously. Going from Batman with shark repellent to a small kid afraid in an alley at the brutal murder of his parents was quite the jump. Not to mention the influence that this scene had and how almost every time the Waynes are murdered in different movies or shows, it tries to replicate the dark and gritty style that Tim Burton showed. But not only that, it also influenced the earlier superhero movies such as Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
The film also tackles real-world issues such as corruption in the police department, the way the media influences people, and consumerism. With these themes and commentary, Batman showed what the superhero genre could be, but it was what was needed at the time. The late 80s and early 90s were a time when audiences wanted more dark and complex heroes instead of spandex. It showed that you can take these stories and add something tragic and connect with the audience on that level.
All in all, the tone of the film changed what the Batman character could be. This scene shows how dark you can get while tiptoeing the line of marketability for children while also being darker and satisfying an adult audience. Until George Clooney and Val Kilmer took over the mantle and brought back the campiness from the 1960s. So
7 million. Never leave the cave without it.